The moment Princess Anne stepped out of that private meeting, something felt off. No statement. No smile. Not even the usual royal composure. And inside palace walls, people were already whispering the same question. What had just happened between King Charles III, Prince William, and Prince Harry? Because whatever it was, it didn't stay private for long. At first, it looked like another routine royal disagreement. Another round of tension between Harry and the institution he left behind in 2020. But within days, insiders began hinting at something far more serious. A disagreement over status. Over titles. And most importantly, over succession. That's where this story starts to turn. Because for years, Harry's relationship with the royal family has been defined by distance. Physical distance after moving to California, emotional distance after the interviews, and institutional distance after stepping away from senior royal duties. But despite all of that, one thing never changed. His place in the line of succession. And according to royal insiders, that fact has quietly become a source of tension behind the scenes. Not because Harry wants the throne, but because of what his position represents. Access, influence, leverage. And in recent months, conversations inside the palace reportedly became increasingly tense over Harry's continued use of royal branding, legal appeals over security, and discussions about future roles for his children. That alone raised eyebrows. But then came the private paperwork. And no, not the kind the public ever sees. According to several royal commentators, internal palace correspondence about titles, family representation, and constitutional boundaries sparked a heated disagreement. Nothing criminal, nothing illegal, but enough to trigger serious concern among senior royals. And that's where Princess Anne enters. Because Anne has always been seen as the monarchy's enforcer. Not emotional. Not distracted. Just loyal to the institution. For decades, she's operated with one belief above all else. The crown survives only when rules are respected. So when questions started surfacing about boundaries, Anne reportedly took it personally. And according to palace watchers, she wasn't quiet about it. At first, the conflict centered around appearances. Harry's public interviews. His memoir. His criticism of palace operations. Each one, in Anne's view, reportedly chipped away at the monarchy's stability. But then something shifted. Because this wasn't just about what Harry said anymore. It became about what he still expected. Security. Recognition. Accommodation during UK visits. And perhaps most sensitive of all, influence over how his family would be positioned in the monarchy's future. That's where Prince William's frustration reportedly intensified. Because William isn't just Harry's brother. He's the future king. And sources close to royal circles have long suggested William sees Harry's public actions as unpredictable at best, and destabilizing at worst. But what nobody expected was how directly Anne would involve herself. According to insiders, Anne pushed for a much harder line. Not symbolic. Practical. Reduced privileges. Clearer boundaries. And an end to what some inside the palace saw as half-in, half-out expectations. That phrase again. The same one that collapsed Harry and Meghan's original exit plan. But here where it gets complicated. Because King Charles has always been caught in the middle. A father and a king. And those two roles do not always agree. Charles has reportedly made multiple efforts to keep the door open for reconciliation. Private calls. Careful invitations. Quiet outreach. But every attempt seemed to hit the same wall. Trust. Or rather, the absence of it. Then came the mid-script twist no one saw coming. It was Harry asking to come back. It was discussions about future royal events and who would be allowed near them. Major ceremonies. State appearances. Family milestones. According to reports, Anne argued that any future participation needed strict conditions. No cameras. No private conversations turned into public stories. No ambiguity. And that changed everything. Because suddenly this wasn't just about family. It was about containment. And insiders say that was the moment Harry realized how much had changed. Not publicly, but structurally. The system he once belonged to had moved on without him. And Anne, more than anyone, made that clear. Not with emotion. With procedure. That's what makes this so significant. People often focus on Charles and William. But Anne may be the one quietly shaping the monarchy's hardest decisions. She understands the machine. And she protects it. Even from family. Especially from family. For Harry, that reality may be harder to accept than any headline. Because exile is one thing. Irrelevance is another. And now the biggest question is whether Harry will ever fully return. It's whether the monarchy has already decided that chapter is closed. For good. And if Princess Anne has truly drawn that line. Who exactly has the power to erase it?